Alright guys, I'm just gonna get straight into it, and the first tip I have for you guys is when you're laning, always be pushing the wave. And that sounds really counterintuitive if you have any experience in any MOBAs or whatnot, because, I mean, at least in League of Legends, which is what I played, you know, usually you'd want to keep the wave on your side of the tower because it would prevent ganks and you could deny the enemy farm. But in this game, it's actually the opposite, where you really want to be pushed up because, for one, it makes it a lot easier to win trades because the creeps will be on your side. And the second reason why is it actually makes it easier to get to Nyes because the enemy minions will be getting lasered by the tower and you'll be able to see them start dying and you'll know your enemy laner has no choice but to shoot them, which makes it easier to pre-aim denies and land them. And the third reason why is it's just easier to land harass because again, the minions are on your side and they really have not much cover other than the shop, and even on certain characters such as Lady Geist, as you'll see in this clip here, it doesn't really do too much if you have something like a bomb or a projectile or something that can just launch around the corner. I'm just gonna play the clip showing you. You see, I'm ping the wave. At this point, I have the wave on my side, so I know I can just walk up and beat the crap out of that dynamo, since there's no minions that are going to hit me, since I already shoved the wave. And I just continue shoving. I'm not going to back off or do something crazy like try and set up a freeze after this crash. And then I land the nade on him, see him healing, and he's just gone. And another reason why is the towers in this game do no damage. I think it's unbelievable that I took maybe like 50 damage from the tower there, but that just shows you that as of right now, pushing the wave in is just the best thing to do until they buff the towers. Alright, the second tip that I have for you guys is to build situationally. And what I mean by this is that there's a lot of items in this game that won't be in a lot of the pre-made builds that you can find in the community that you will need to win the game. And for example, in the spirit section, we have items like Curse, and Curse is one of the best items just for countering something like Hazel, a 7 ult, because you can just completely cancel the ult by using the active. And it also gives you decent weapon power, spirit power as well, so really good item. You have things like Silence Glyph 2, that's like a weaker version of Curse in my opinion. Knockdown against snipers in case your team's very low range and can't hit them at all. Zanya's, aka Ethereal Shift, but it's basically Zanya's from League that you can go untargetable, which is really useful on certain characters. Like, for example, I would say Haze. Buying this on Haze is really good. After you ult, you pop your Zanya's, or in case you get stunned and caught, you can pop this to buy time. Or Infernus as well, since you're going to be running in, going in deep, and you can pop this to stall for your cooldowns to escape. There's also really useful situational items in the Vitality section, like Debuff Remover. That's really good against like a Kelvin or whatnot. Metal Skin, again, super good against Hazel or any gun damage carry like a McGinnis, I would say, or Vindicta. Where's another one here? Unstoppable. That's a really good item. Again, they kind of have two separate tiers of these situational items. Debuff Remover and Unstoppable, where this can completely suppress negative status effects, and it also immune stun and sleep. Meanwhile, Debuff Remover does not remove any of those. It can't be used while stun or slept. And weapon, there isn't too many situational items and weapon damage. I guess you could go like Glass Cannon. I think it's more of a snowball-y type item if you want to try and snowball really hard. Ricochet is good for farming camps if you are on a character that can't really farm camps super well or has really high fire rate, so it can benefit it a lot. And Silencer is also basically the gun damage carry version of picking up a Curse or a Silence Glyph. So yeah, just be thinking more and just look at all the items as well. Like, that is not all of them. Like, we still have some here, and I'm sure there's more, Vitality items like Spirit Armor, Bullet Armor, but I'm not going to go over every item, but just take some time to look at the item shop and make sure you're hitting tab in game to see what people have built. I know this is a sandbox, but normally it would show the items that people have built in the game, and it'll also show the bars of whether they're building spirit, building weapon, and building health, or like just tankiness, and then you can just go all in for damage. But anyways, yeah, just think more actively about your builds. Alright, so my third tip of the video, this kind of also ties in hand with my second tip, at the very end of my second tip where I was describing looking at their icons to see what items they build. But you can see, as long as your teammates have vision of the enemy, you can see their health, and I'm pretty sure you can always see whether their ult is up or not. And this is very important when it comes to making decisions when taking fights. And this can go for the mid game, this can go for the laning phase, or like setting up a gank, or really anything. So this is just super useful because obviously if someone's low HP, a lot more gankable or even diveable under tower. And if they have their ult, that's obviously a massive factor when you're making the decision to fight with somebody. So yeah, just a quick little tip. Make sure you're looking at that and you're aware of that, and it will guaranteed help you make a lot better decisions both in the mid game and in the laning phase when it comes to taking correct fights. Okay, so my fourth tip in this video, as I finish killing this Guardian, is to kill the Guardian as early as possible, and from there you want to rotate and try and gank and win your other lanes, while also trying to take down all the enemy's Guardians. And the reason why that's so important is, I'm sure a lot of you guys know at this point, but killing all 4 Guardians has a flex slot. So after a lane phase, just showing an example of how this can be useful, I just literally go and walk to orange. They don't have a Guardian up, but I can just leave and destroy. And these kills probably don't happen if I don't instantly kill my Guardian, as chaos ensues in this clip. But yeah, we end up killing both people on orange, and the 7 actually ends up showing up late because he had to catch the wave I pushed. And that leads to us getting an unfavorable fight, and potentially this helped us snowball the game. Alright, my 5th and final tip that I have, I don't have a visual example for this, but I think that abusing level up timers, which as you can see, there's this little potion here next to my health bar that says 285 to next. If you hit the level up threshold before your opponent, you will be stronger than them. And that's just a fact, because you'll have an extra ability unlocked if it's early game, or you could potentially have an extra ability point that you can lock in, and you'll have a stat bonus of like weapon damage and health that the enemy won't have. So odds are, if you're going in and you're a higher level than your opponent, you will be stronger. This especially goes for, I would say, the second level up when you get your second ability, and when you get your ult at 3,000 souls. If you are getting it before your opponent, then you can just go in on them, and you will likely win the trade, maybe even kill them if they try and fight back. And vice versa, you guys need to be watching the souls of your enemies, because if they get a level up, you do not want to take a fight. Yeah, thank you for listening to my tips. I'll be trying to make more videos. I'm very new at this kind of thing. But yeah, I'll be making it better, working on my commentary, and I appreciate a subscription, just so you know, and help get this channel off the ground. Thank you.